Welcome to the I Eat Super Healthy Cooking Vlog. It's the holidays, it's December, and we're trying to figure out, different proteins and different things to eat for the holidays other than the traditional turkey and other proteins that we typically have throughout the year. I personally like to put salmon in there. I know we eat salmon throughout the year, but salmon is great for the holidays as well. I have a couple of salmon steaks cut here. You always want to try to get the wild salmon. And what I've done is I created a bit of a rub for my salmon to have a little bit different type of salmon flavor. My rub here is consisted of some chili powder, which is I call this my chili salmon, and about 4.5 teaspoons of coriander, some dried thyme leaves, dried oregano, a little bit of salt and pepper, dry mustard. And this is an excellent rub that I'm going to create for my salmon here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over the salmon. And actually, before I do that, I want to kind of start my pan to heating. Heat up my pan a bit here. A little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. And start adding my rub to the salmon. It's just called a dry rub. And it's a nice, just accompaniment of flavors and wonderful spices. And I always try to encourage my viewers to look at spices, explore spices. If there is any spice that you're not familiar with, anything you're not sure about, explore it. See what you compare it with and add it to your food. This is better than a bunch of salt and the traditional salt and pepper, which is always great, but you want to try to expose yourself to other spices so you don't have so much of the sodium content. All right, so I'm just going to give these a quick sear. And what I'm doing is I have heated my oven to 350. I'm not going to wait for this I'm not going to overcook this in the pan. I'm just going to give it a quick sear, and then I'm going to bake it for about 5 to 10 minutes in the oven. And the wonderful thing about salmon, of course, is that it's filled with omega-3s. Salmon is a wonderful source of your essential fatty acids. Those are fatty acids that your body needs, but it cannot produce on its own. So salmon is an excellent source of protein to keep you satiated really long, as well. Helps you regulate heart health with the omega-3s. So you need this stuff. You need omega-3s. The salmon's good for you. And the best salmon for you to get is the wild salmon, because that salmon has access to all the wild algae in the sea and has more nutrients and vitamins and nutrients from nature as opposed to maybe some farm-raised salmon. So we got the pan heated through here. So I'm going to do a quick sear on there. Not long at all. Okay, let's lay this last piece in here. It's smelling good already. I can see all the spices kind of toasting up and cooking in the pan while my salmon sears on each side. Take my handy tongs here. I'll take my handy tongs here. I said. All right. Let it sear for about 1 minute. You want to gently turn this over. That looks very pretty. That fell apart. That's okay. We can just turn that over. Looks really yummy. Salmon doesn't take very long to cook, so you want to be careful when you turn it over. You want to be careful when you're searing it up. You don't want it to, because you don't want dry salmon. Nobody likes dry salmon. You want it a little bit juicy and pink on the inside. Okay, so my salmon is seared on both sides, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. And what I've done is, this is a favorite apparatus of mine. It's just an easy little rack. I get it at the dollar store, any type of dollar store. It costs about 50 cents or so. And I like to put it either on top of a sheet pan or a baking dish like this. Whenever I'm baking chicken or I've seared it on the stove, I like to set my protein on top of this rack so all the other fat and drippings can drip down and it stays crispy on both sides. So I will allow this to bake. Looks yummy. That will go on afterwards. All right, so let's put this in for a few minutes. 350. To bed our lovely salmon, I have sauteed up some warm cabbage salad. Just a little bit of onion, red onion, head of cabbage. Ooh, that looks so good. Some garlic, a little sherry wine vinegar, sauteed up there, just kind of put together for the whole bed of salmon. Very lovely. You know, and this is high in fiber, so this is an excellent sort of salad to kind of bed any type of meat. It's a quick way to feed a lot of people, especially this time of year. You're going to have a lot of visitors, a lot of family in town. So let's check out our salmon. I'm just simply going to take out my rack here. Just add the salmon on top. Doesn't matter if it breaks up a little bit. It's still really yummy. Look at that, nice and pink inside, not too dry, but done. Add that one little piece right there. All right. Close this here. And add a little bit of minced parsley on top. Not too much, just for color. That looks good. All right. Now let's plate. I think I'm gonna I like this piece of salmon right here. I know people usually get off the end, but I'm a little different. Little taste here. I love the salmon. Look how pink and pretty that is on the inside. Get a little bit of that cabbage, yummy cabbage salad. I love that. It's delicious. I didn't put much salt in this at all. And I have all these spices and all these seasonings. And one thing I added to the cabbage salad was caraway seeds. So that adds a beautiful aroma. So with my spice rub on the salmon and the warm salad on the cabbage, it's delicious. This is very filling. It's warm. It's hot. You need to make this at home. So for this recipe and more delicious and healthy cooking tips, go to IEatSuper.com and join my video blog. See you next time.
I Eat Super is being provided by Dito's Marketplace in downtown Farmington, where you'll find Michigan's best produce. Shop Dito's at 33021 Grand River Avenue. Open daily. Call 248-476-0300.